I heard her laughter before I saw the video. That same soft, melodic laugh I fell in love with, the one that used to fill our kitchen on Sunday mornings, now echoing from someone else's phone, from a night I hadn't even known she went out. It was my coworker Dan who showed me. "Hey Mark, isn't this your wife?" he'd said, sliding his phone across the break room table with an awkward smile that tried to mask discomfort. On the screen, in the dim glow of flashing lights, my wife Emma swayed on a dance floor, a half-empty cocktail in her hand. Her arm draped around a man's shoulders. The man leaned close, too close, and whispered something that made her tilt her head back and laugh. The same laugh I'd once promised to protect for life. The timestamp read Friday night. She told me she was at her friend Julia's girls' night. My throat tightened. I forced a chuckle, the kind men used to hide the sting. Yeah, that's her. Guess Julia's camera shy. Dan's eyes flickered with pity. Didn't mean to cause trouble, man. But the trouble had already begun. That night, Emma came home just past midnight. I was awake on the couch, pretending to scroll through emails, but every muscle in my body was coiled tight. She slipped through the door quietly, her heels dangling from her fingers, the faint scent of tequila and perfume trailing behind her. "Hey," she whispered when she saw me, startled. "You're still up." "Couldn't sleep," I said evenly. She smiled faintly. "You should have called." "I would've." "Where were you?" The question landed like a crack in the silence. She froze. "I told you, I was with Julia." I nodded slowly. "At that club downtown? The one where you were dancing with some guy?" Her eyes widened, and for the briefest second, guilt flashed across her face before she masked it with defiance. "Who told you that?" "I saw a video." "Mark, it's not what you think," she said, stepping closer. "He's just a friend. Julia knows him. We were just dancing. That's all." My heart wanted to believe her, but my gut screamed that she was lying. "A friend," I repeated, bitterness coating my tongue. "Funny how you never mentioned him." Her lips trembled. "You're overreacting." "Maybe," I said, standing. "But I'm done being the last to know what my wife's up to." She flinched as if I'd slapped her. "You're being ridiculous. I can't even go out without being accused of cheating." "Not when you look that happy in someone else's arms," I said quietly. "Not when you told me you'd be with your friends, and not another man." She stared at me, speechless. Then with a scoff she turned away. "I'm going to bed." I didn't follow her. The next morning she left for work early. I stayed home, mind spinning, piecing together every little lie from the past few weeks. The sudden late nights, the secretive smiles at her phone, the way she'd started sleeping with her back to me. I wanted proof before I accused her again. So that night, I installed a small GPS tracker app we'd once used to find our phones. I linked it to her car without telling her. By Saturday evening, she said she was meeting a client. At 9 p.m., the tracker showed her car parked not at her firm, but outside a downtown hotel. The name flashed on my screen like a knife. The Haven Suites. I waited. An hour passed. Then 2. I watched the blue dot remain in the same place, mocking me with its stillness. At midnight, I locked the front door. Every lock, every chain, every bolt. And then I sat down in the dark. It was 2:13 a.m. when my phone buzzed. Her name lit up the screen. I didn't answer. A minute later, a knock. Then another. "Mark." Her voice muffled and shaky. "Please open the door." I stayed silent. "Mark, it's not what you think. Please." The sound of her pounding grew desperate. "My phone's dying and it's freezing out here. Please just talk to me." I stood by the door, my hand on the knob, heartbreaking and burning at once. "You lied to me, Emma," I said finally, loud enough for her to hear. "You said you were meeting a client." "I was," she cried. "I mean, I was at first. But then some coworkers went out after and her voice cracked. "Please, Mark, I swear I didn't sleep with him." "You expect me to believe that?" I said. "After everything you've hidden? The lies, the nights out, the videos." Silence. Then a faint sob. "Please," she whispered, her voice raw now. "I know I messed up. I just wanted to feel alive again. You've been so distant lately, and I didn't know how to reach you. But it didn't mean I stopped loving you." That hit me harder than any confession could. Because deep down I had been distant. I'd been buried in work, chasing promotions, forgetting date nights, forgetting to ask her how her day was. But betrayal doesn't justify betrayal. I needed you to talk to me, not dance with someone else, I said, my voice trembling. I know, she sobbed. Please just open the door. I'll explain everything. I hesitated, and that's when my phone buzzed again. A message notification from an unknown number. I opened it. A photo. Emma and the same man from the video sitting at a bar. His hand resting on her thigh. Her face turned toward him, smiling softly. The caption read, "She's been coming here every week." My chest went cold. I looked through the peephole. She was still there, her makeup smeared, her body trembling. She looked small. Lost. Who is he, Emma? I asked through the door. She went silent. Then, his name's Ryan. He's from my old job. We reconnected a few months ago. The honesty in her voice even now felt like another knife. How long? I whispered. She pressed her forehead against the door. It started as messages, then lunch. Then, I don't even know when it crossed the line. My eyes burned. You could have told me. We could have fixed this. I was scared, she said, voice breaking. Scared you'd stop loving me completely. Scared you'd see how lonely I was. Her words hit a part of me I didn't want to feel. The part that still loved her despite everything. The part that remembered our wedding vows, our laughter, our plans. But love wasn't enough anymore. Not after this. I unlocked the door, but didn't open it. Go to your sister's, I said quietly. Stay there tonight. Mark. Please, I said. I need time. You need to think about what you've done. After a long pause, I heard her footsteps retreat. The sound of her car starting. Then silence. The house felt impossibly empty after she left. Her perfume lingered in the air, her slippers still by the couch, her favorite mug on the counter. Everything screamed of her presence, and her absence. I sat there until dawn, staring at the front door she used to walk through with a smile. By morning she'd texted me once. I'm sorry for everything. I'll wait for you to call. I didn't reply. I didn't know if I ever would. But when I finally looked outside, I saw her forgotten key still in the lock. It felt like a metaphor for everything that went wrong. How we'd both kept the door open just enough for love to slip away unnoticed. And as the sun rose over the quiet street, I realized something painful but true. Sometimes, locking someone out isn't about punishment. It's about finally choosing to protect what's left of yourself. Because love can survive distance, anger, even time. But not lies. Not anymore.